recording. Start streaming. Oh, all right. Oh man, you got beer on the keyboard.
That wasn't me.
Man, who'd have thought we'd end up with beer on the keyboard in week 12? So what you drinking now?
Yes. Hey, welcome everybody. Episode 12. So what are you drinking now? Here at the office. I'm not going to waste much time here at the beginning because tonight we got a little bit special treat. This past week I've had, well, not this past week, this past month and a half I've had a rep hounding me to get this cider that he says he's trying to sell, and it's coming to the end of the season for it, and I told him, I said, I'll tell you what, dude, you get us a sample. If it's in by Monday, we'll review it on the show, and if we like it, then I'll buy a case. Yeah, they got like 46 cases left. I said, I'll take you down to 45 if I like it.
This would definitely be room for comment. If this sounds good to you, comment. Let us know.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So this is Ace cider. Their seasonal craft cider called Hazy Hop.
Whoa.
Now, supposedly, it's got some hops in it. I told him that turned me off from a cider, but he says people like it. You know, he's a rep. He's going to tell me people like it. But we're going to find out.
Yeah, but it's got hops in it.
Well, we're going to find out.
You ever seen Idiocracy?
Idiocracy, yes.
I feel like
It's got electrolytes.
we're all
Plants
dressed. Yeah, if it's got electrolytes, it's good for you.
So we're going to try this. So we're going to have 3 beers and a wine tonight.
So this is like the New England IPA cider.
Quick palate cleanser conversation.
Sorry.
I've got the Ace Joker dry cider,
So you are drinking a cider already?
I'm keeping it local. I got the trophy wife, man. She puts that smile on my face after a hard day's work.
I'm actually keeping it local too, with trophies up close and personal.
Nice. Trophy's been doing pretty good up in the shop. We really liked it. So
We're going to move right into this cider. Now, Nick, I know you don't like cider
Just
that
a
much.
small amount would be fine, just to taste. I'll be honest with the crowd at this point. We've been doing ciders a few weeks. I have an apple allergy, so I'm going to be able to palletize this, and that's about it. I'll let these guys tell you all about how it feels and this and that. My overall feeling is that the buzz of cider, it's very sugary, hits you quick, it's very refreshing, crisp. And it doesn't leave a lot of beer funk hangover, unless you're allergic to apples.
Now, so they told me, my rep told me that he thinks this is more akin to the Joker as a dry cider. So we'll see. It's probably a good thing that you're.
It's definitely hazy. It's got a really light white color, but there's a haze.
It smells completely different than the Joker. I'll tell you that one.
Yeah, this does smell. It almost smells champagne-like.
So there's
I mean, even on the camera, you
Oh,
can
yeah.
see the difference in those
3
two
Ace
right there.
ciders we carry in the shop currently. We have Joker, which is a dry cider. We have their standard pear cider, and we also do a pineapple.
Pear is also seasonal, so that we will have pineapple year-round. Pear is getting ready to run out.
Yeah, I know it's been trickling out. So this is perhaps a 4th addition to our collection if we did. I gotta say, that's a little friendlier on Nick's palate. All that sweet stuff was killing me. It still has some sweetness. But
It's sweeter than the Joker, but it.
do you guys get a little sour tone after the initial
very much so.
sweetness?
Yep,
Like
right
Granny Smith?
there on the side.
Very Granny Smith.
Okay, so I get the hazy part of it. I don't get the hop part of
You
it.
guys getting the hops?
A little bit,
I'm not.
but only a little bit. I mean, it's not like it was brewed with hops because you can't. With the way you make cider, you can't get the full bitterness out of hops, so it's like dry hops. So that's like the floral aromatic. That's where you can smell them. Because to me, it smells like a mojito.
Okay, so
If you put mint in this, it would taste like a mojito.
So this to me is somewhere between your regular hard ciders that have your sweetness, your natural sweetness to them, and then something like the Joker or Original Sin Extra Dry that has the sweetness taken out.
Oh, yeah.
So this is
This reminds me some more like those Virginia Appalachian ciders.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
What's the one? Foggy
This is really good.
Mountain.
I like this a lot, but it's not sweet.
And it has this, like Nick was saying, the sour, like
Not initial, but it comes in after that first
right on the
sweetness for me.
side. It's really
It's
puckering
that
my-
Granny Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, tartness of a Granny Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is really desirable actually
Yeah.
in this.
Yeah.
So I'm actually
Ooh,
good
five
with this.
out of 5 for burps on that one.
Yeah, I feel like more than the IPA fans will come run into this. The sour fans will be happy to try a cider.
No, this is really good.
Yeah, I'm actually good with this. So we will be picking up a case of this. I'm very surprised. Yeah, and like all ciders,
Yeah.
it is gluten free. Which you chuckle, but there's a lot of people that
Oh,
that are looking
I know.
that has a gluten free option. And this one's coming in at 6% ABV, which is high for a cider.
It is
Doesn't
not as high as
sound
my
dry.
Jugger over here because the Jugger's 6'9".
So yeah.
This one could play baseball. This one plays basketball.
That's funny. So yeah, so Ace Cider out of Sonoma, California. Again, look at the label. I'll let you take a gander at it because we should be bringing it in probably sometime in the next week.
That is surprisingly good.
And we'll probably carry it as long as we have it in stock or the warehouse has it in stock because this is a seasonal. So
All right.
Nick is chomping at the bit. I'm going to
These guys
try
are
to
working
down
through
this.
their samples, so I'm going to just get started while Rob finishes out. Guys, I know it sounds crazy.
Chugging cider is hard.
I brought in
He's on that.
one of my
It's
favorite
great.
breweries at the
Great.
Southeast, Sweetwater. I think a lot of us are familiar with Sweetwater for their IPA, their extra pale, and their
Can't
Going
forget the
Coastal
blue.
Pineapple.
Can't forget the blue. Sweetwater Blue
Yeah,
is the
Sweetwater
first
Blue
How about
is
the-
pretty good wheat style.
420 strain stuff is hitting hard.
Yeah, we had the Mango Crush. You guys remember we brought that up a little bit back, and the Force 20 strain IPA.
There's a I just saw in the email today they are going to release this winter a 420 strain variety pack. It's going to have the Mango Crush, or the Mango Crush, excuse me, not Kolsch, it was a wheat. They're going to have the original 420 strain IPA. They're going to have the Sweetwater 420, which is their original.
Thank you. That's the extra pale green label.
And then the last one they're going to have is a 420 strain stout. Which kind of, yeah.
Yeah, they did have a darker one in the past. They do the catch and release. Dank Tank series is even more elite than the catch and release. Printed on the top of this rarely released randomness from the ombres of headiness. There's a little play on the whole like slang of Caesar. I'm going to spare you guys it. It's a little more fun to read when you're drinking. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. I will offer up a little anecdote of history here. It's called Et tu, Brute. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the phrase was more likely Kaisu Teknon at the time. Caesar would have likely
Put that all into your
Nah, Caesar would have likely spoken in Greek amongst his friends in the Senate. Yes, formal language, the language of the law was Latin, but these guys all learned from Greek tutors. So to say something clever like "and you, Brutus," that's Shakespeare saying that. More likely, the correct phrase was "Kaisu Teknon," which is "and you, my child." Imagine being betrayed by your own child.
So it answers it right on the question for me, or right on my question, right on the label. Et tu, Brute, and instantly made me think it's going to be a brute.
Yeah.
And it's a brute double. It's a brute dipper.
Yeah, so how do we
This is
get
going to
brute?
be
They use
spiffy.
champagne
You know what it
yeast
smells
to
like?
finish these double
Smells like a
IPAs,
brewed dipper.
and it gets all those residual sugars
Yeah.
out. Champagne yeast just has that power to perform even in higher alcohol concentrations. This is 7.5. At 7.5, common beer yeast, ale yeast starts getting knocked out. You have to bolster with additional yeasts to truly get that fermentation out. At least with like a DIPA. Stouts, different malts you can brew a little further.
Okay, so I'm gonna say right from the beginning on the nose, when it comes to a DIPA, I'm really expecting huge heady pine. I'm not getting a whole lot of pine.
I'm getting more grass.
Yeah,
Lots of
it's
grass.
It's
I
definitely
got
grass.
orange peel, orange zest, and grass.
Lots of grass.
Which is very friendly to me.
Oh,
Yeah,
And
well,
not
except for grass when you're mowing. 'cause
Yeah,
you're
not
allergic
like
to
the
grass.
wet mowed
Nick is
grass.
allergic to probably 50% of the things in his life.
Trees, grasses, which is most of the food. we
Which
eat.
I identify with Nick, except I don't actually mow grass. I don't try and court the devil, you know.
But I guess what we're getting to is, we talk about wines having that wet grass feel. This is more like a field of open grass in seed. It's just going to have this dry smell, this floral kind of grassy smell. And it does have a little citrus fruitiness to it. You guys picking that up?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, I'm very surprised that I'm not getting.
I'm
like,
getting
just
that.
blast
So,
in the face
It's,
with
it's
pine.
like the deep
Can I
orange.
tell
It's like
you-
orange zest.
Well, that's the Dorado, El Dorado hops, and then topped with Mosaic. So, literally, citrus and grassiness in the hops. Mosaic is known for having a dusty, sage-like kind of feel. It's really one of the drier hops out there.
Mosaic's one of my favorites.
Yeah, it works well with those Citra tone hops like El Dorado and Citra, the Power Seeds. But
That is
That's
a very
different.
different palate. That is very dry.
There's something else there. I'm trying to put my
I think Nick nailed it with sage.
yeah, but there's something hidden.
well,
there.
it's a hazy, so they've done something to haze, and so we know that that's commonly done with malolactic or oak flake. These are two ways that it's done, that as far as we know, and it has been exposed by breweries. I don't know, Josh. What do you think? Does this have the signs of the?
I think it's unfiltered. I don't think it's. I mean, if any haze coming from this, I think it's just from a lack of filtering.
So it says it was introduced with a hostile enzyme. So if they say enzyme, I'm thinking the
Well, a lot of the
some
enzymatic.
lacto.
Yeah, well, the enzymatic action you're gonna get is basically just from the temps of like the malts and everything.
Okay.
Your enzymes are gonna come from your malts.
Okay.
So it could be something funky they did with the malt.
Once they really start breaking those proteins down,
Yeah.
really cooking them, which you get with double IPA, because you're really trying to pack. You're getting double malt in the same space. So if you're talking 20 pounds malt per gallon or whatnot for your heavy IPAs, we're gonna just double our recipe for our dippers, right?
It's some beautiful chemistry going on in a beer, man. It is.
Okay, so
It's
you-
cryptic.
You said, but it kind of
It fills in the gaps.
It opened it up for me. Okay, so I'm gonna read it on the back of the can. It says
It's better when you-
Antiquité Brut Double India Pale Ale. The drama began when the long-reigning Julius Dankster was met with a hostile enzyme injected to take down complex sugars and allow the yeast to feast. But the betrayal had a plot twist. The brute intruder exposed the hop profile and stripped it of any sweetness, resulting in a dry-to-the-bone brew with a thick and frothy head, hazy golden orange hue, and slight tartness. In a shocking second act, El Dorado and Mosaic hops conspired to deliver a stab of mango, passion fruit, melon, acidic citrus, and the killer blow of dankness.
How high was the guy who wrote that?
I know, right?
Well, they call
And then-
themselves the what a
That's
head.
And then,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
awesome.
this is can conditioned. It says it right there. Can
Okay,
conditioned
that's
for
the
fresh
trick right
taste.
there. That's what the haze is. It's can conditioned. There's yeast in there.
So they don't finish all the filtering when they get down to the can.
Yeah, and then just let it finish up.
And so with the
fermenting.
Brett, we know that the Brett is gonna pretty much, not the Brett, sorry about that. The brew is
Yeah,
built on
the
champagne.
champagne. Well, it's the same thing that you do with champagne, like method champagne wa. You're talking about like there's yeast sediment in the bottle. You twist it every now and then. You're not gonna do that with the cans.
Quarter turns, right?
Quarter turns.
Quarter turns and
On the
elevate them,
lees.
and then you gotta elevate the bottles and all that crazy stuff like that
Yeah.
too.
And then but the difference is
People forget, beer cans have a punt.
The difference is
they do have a
with
pint.
champagne, they freeze it and expel the yeast.
Yeah, that's part of cellaring and
So the reason they lay it on the angle is so that
Where the bubble is.
yeast and everything will come through to where the cork is, and then they'll freeze it. They'll basically chop off the end of the bottle, which causes the ice to explode out, and then and then
I'm getting popped
then they'll
here.
cut the yeast out. So, and then the only time, and that's method champenois, and then the only time you get double fermentation after that is when they add sugar back in.
It's a beautiful thing.
Did you guys get that?
And so if you ever wondered why champagne was expensive, it's probably because there's somebody freezing a bottle and chopping the top of it off.
Well, that and then somebody else is going in every 10 days and turning the bottle. 1/4 turn. Can you imagine spending your day, all day, just
You think that guy has carpal tunnels?
boop, all day,
I'm
just
not,
go
I'm
down
not
the
gonna
aisle.
lie, I can think of at least 2 or 3 people in my life who would be thrilled to have that
10,000
job.
bombs
And
a
literally,
day.
I would just put some buds in on your iPod and just go in there and just
All right.
listening to Yanni, and you're just
Listen to
slowly-
Yanni.
This coming from the guy who woke up on his couch with earbuds blasting Ray Parker Jr. Ghostbusters.
I did wake up the other day with Ghostbusters theme on repeat
Man, I wish
on Google Play.
I wish I could have.
I'm left with a pleasant finish from the Sweetwater. I see how there's a little more quality in the crafting on this beer than their sort of standards. But it definitely fits their profile. It's right in there.
I think it's
It's
a
tasty.
definite. It's a definite twist, good and interesting twist on Dippa.
Yeah.
Most Dippas come straight at you with like freaking
Big hops.
big hops
But you
and
can taste the cereal
pine,
on them, too.
pine in your face, and you're just gonna get pine cone and But this, I think it's got enough different twists to it. It's a good little Dippa. I like it.
Alright, so next up I've got the Boogie Night, Coastal Love Hazy.
Boogie Nights.
Yeah, the Coastal Love Hazy IPA. You can't really see that.
You gotta
here.
get it closer underneath it.
Yeah, hold on. There we go.
There you go.
There we go, yeah. So that's why I thought it said Boogie Nights, because it looks like it says Boogie Nights, but it says Coastal Love. If you haven't seen Boogie Nights, good movie. Wait till you release 17 to watch it, though.
Yeah, that way you made that decision yourself and you can't blame Josh.
So,
Yeah.
so little while Josh is pouring this little thing about this beer, it is from Wicked Weed, and this is actually Wicked Weed's little spilling all over the place, man. This is Wicked Weed's
It's for the fallen
they're
comrades.
donating
Hey, comrade.
money to coastal recovery after the hurricanes last year, the East Coast. So it'll hit North Carolina, Florida, South Carolina, Virginia. They will be putting money back into the local areas.
Boy, if I didn't know any better, that label pretty much screams Wilmington. I think it's a shout out right down to Wilmington. That kind of type, those shapes. That's very Wrightsville, very Wilmington style.
Yeah, the Wicked Weed rep that works our area, Jeremy, cool guy, and I know that he's been stoked on this for probably 7-8 months since they announced it in house, and every time he's talked to me has been, hey, make sure you get your orders in. We really love the reason for making this beer.
Oh, yeah.
One thing, Wicked Weed got bought out a couple years ago by AB InBev. Huge thing. However, they kept the staff. So Wicked Weed is still staffed by the same people, and so they still have the same.
We could have a whole episode talking about why it's probably not the worst thing that they did.
Yeah, I feel
Sell
like
out. But
it gave them capital to get access to ingredients. I mean, all these different exotic fruits they've been working with.
I think it was not the wrong decision for him to make, because now it's much easier to get Wicked Weed and it still tastes pretty good.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
I mean, we win, they win, and if you ever had a check with like 9 zeros after the number, wouldn't you take it?
Yeah, they got handed the gold mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so smelling this,
Not a lot's coming up off the nose. I
No.
want to say that right away.
Yeah.
Not as lively as the Et tu Brute.
And
It's
I
really
can-
not.
I can tell you that I have had this so far already. This is a good little IPA, but it's not a, it's
You're
less.
looking for pine.
It's
There's
less
definitely
than,
pine.
yeah, but it's less than their pernicious.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
This is a fundraiser IPA.
I agree. I was just getting ready. I was going to point that. The price is a little higher today. In the shop it's $4.50. That means it cost us somewhere around $3 a can, which means that is going back towards the fundraiser. So this is a good little fundraiser, like Josh said, fundraiser IPA.
Yeah, I mean, you can find ones for about the same price that are stronger, have more flavor, all of that.
But it's solid.
The reason why, I mean, it tastes solid. It's a little bit lighter. It's only 6.3.
You're right. And this definitely has the pine in it.
So this is one of these things. I think when we asked the question a while ago, what will become the North Carolina, at least in the coastal, what will become the IPA of choice? And quite honestly, I think Coastal Love is getting right at it. It's a refreshing sip.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
They might tweak it a little bit when they come out of the fundraiser and just really focus if they get good feedback on this. But I feel like this is a sip people could have by the coast. You step in off the
I think we need
beach,
to go for the
very
Muscadine
tolerable.
IPA.
Well, don't be surprised. I mean, we had the two lights that had the champagne and the Sauvignon Blanc. We might have something.
I am honestly surprised that no brewery in North Carolina has brewed a beer with muscadine.
Well, they might have. We just might not have heard about it because it might not have been that great. But you okay there, Nick?
Yeah, I got the yawns, guys. Sorry, it's part of why the show's on a little bit later. I'm working closing shifts now, guys, so we had to bump back our show time. So excuse my yawns.
Well, and today was the first day of school, so Ashley needed a little help in the morning, so Matt worked the opening shift, so that left Nick for the night shift. Anyway, so back to the Coastal Love. I wanted to bring up something else. Wicked Weed, especially, I don't know whether they did a lot of it beforehand, but I know since the buyout, they've really been into these projects of these type of donation beers or whatever you want to call them.
Well, crap, they're playing with AB's money. Why not?
They released one earlier in the year called Appalachia, which goes towards
That was a good one.
We've got that on
for
tap right
Appalachian
now.
Mountains. I mean,
Beautiful
and making sure that they don't, the money goes back to help, police up, trash and whatever in the
Oh,
Appalachian
yeah.
Mountains.
Well, no,
So
that's a beautiful concept. And, when you're working with more money, you can give more money
that's
back.
true. That is true. So I think they've got some good stuff
I
going
think the
with
big
this.
fear when the small breweries, the craft breweries get bought by the conglomerates, the large brew companies, we're worried that they're going to lose that craft essence, that they're going to outsource materials, that labor will be lost, that production happens at different plants. As far as I know, all their beer right now is produced in Asheville.
Yeah.
It's produced, like Rob said, by the same staff. And for all I've noticed, it appears to be the same high-level malts and hops that were in it to begin with.
The only difference is they're available in more locations. They're now
Statewide distribution,
Statewide.
over the border now.
in grocery stores, which means some of their levels we won't be carrying here at the shop.
Lieutenant
But-
Dank and whatnot, yeah.
But at the same time, they have these others coming out like this and other stuff. No, Lieutenant Dank is no, that was
No, Lieutenant Dank's, yeah.
And Lieutenant Dank is definitely Wicked Weed.
But they have different things coming out that are for bottle shops only. So and
Yeah, like we had some of those series, the Funkatoriums.
Yeah. Well,
Their sour series is so good.
they're making great beer. One thing I have seen is that the price has dropped a little bit, so
Well,
it's easier. It's
Beyond
easier
even
in the wallet.
sours, I feel like they created a whole new sessionable category with these crush. They're dropping doing goes and sour, and they're going straight for these what they're calling crush.
yeah, and they're actually we did skip over one for the summer. in hindsight, I probably should have brought it in. But we had plenty other of the watermelon flavor type stuff going on.
Yeah.
Their fall one going into winter looks pretty good, and we'll bring that in.
I could live without cucumber.
This year, the cucumber didn't stand up as
I
to
gotta
me
tell
like
ya.
it did last year.
But I introduced it to people who didn't have it before, and they loved it. And people are starting to be fans year to year, and they may notice the differences. I thought it was a very approachable beer for me. I brought it to a party this weekend, and it was a big hit, especially with older beer drinkers who were not used to craft beer movement. They liked it.
But I tell you what, if you're a brewery and you don't have a single beer that I can't say, it's like, I didn't care for it. Then
I like the Coastal Love. It's got crushability. I feel like I could slam this, get back out to the beach from my favorite beach bar.
I'd drink this on the beach more than I would the Etsu Brute. I would not. That's not a beach beer to me.
Not if you're planning on getting in the water.
Or
Yeah, we're getting out.
All right, so here we go with the wine portion. I have got something that's a little different from anything we've
This
tried
looks
before.
like Delta. I recognize the
Yes.
artwork. Didn't we taste some Delta?
We tried a Delta Cab a while back.
So this was a sweet Moscato.
No. So what we have tonight is the Delta Chenin Blanc. So that's right, Chenin Blanc from California. Okay, so Chenin Blanc is generally known in the Loire Valley and South Africa. It's very rare that I found Chenin Blanc of quality from outside those two regions, let alone in California. This, we're going to get higher acid. Chenin Blanc that generally is a higher acid white wine, but it's got a lot of floral notes to it.
It's got floral and Granny Smith green apple.
But you know, that high acidity in a California wine might get muted. Cali wines tend to be a little more basic. Isn't
Yeah, it
that how
has
they
the
grow
green
it?
apples smell like green apple candy does. But that's not a bad thing.
Woo! Yeah, I mean, definitely.
So before you give out your tasting notes on them, make sure you take a sip, clear out your palate from the beer, because
That's what I was about to say, yeah.
the second sip is going to be the taste on this one.
Yeah, guys, I am cheating. I'm using iced tea as a palate cleanser. What with these double IPAs, and you know, I got the trophy over here, but sometimes tea and coffee, guys, are really good palate cleansers. They're really basic. They have tannins that just clean your palate.
You know, the French use cigarettes, or they used to.
How do they chew on them?
So this particular wine is a little sweeter than most Chenin Blancs I'm used to.
Yeah.
Fruity. I'm definitely feeling fruity. There's sweetness in the
I
fruity.
get residual sugars on the back end.
Okay.
I'm not saying I'm disappointed with it. I'm just saying that this is not your typical Chenin Blanc. There was one lady that has already purchased this and came back the next day and loved it because she loves Chenin Blanc, but she loved it because it was a little different.
I feel good about that.
So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, your normal Chenin Blanc, especially your South Africans, are going to be very acidic and very fruit forward, but you're not going to get a lot of sweetness.
So I feel you on the residual sugar, but just the tiniest bit. 'Cause
Right
I
on
feel
the back
like it's
end.
still a
It's
semi-dry,
not
semi-deck finish.
My opinion on this one is sitting right there with the red Delta that we tried a few weeks back. It's good party wine. I mean, if you take this to a party and you are around a group of people, I'll bring a bottle tonight, and you show up with this, nobody will ever complain. This is good wine. Like, it's palatable. Like, if somebody wants a white wine, you pour this one, and they're
Yeah.
not gonna be upset.
Exactly. You're going to get your Sauvignon Blanc drinkers that are going to like it because of the tartness.
Chardonnay
the
drinkers
bite
will
on the
like
end.
it because there's a little bit of complexity.
There's a little
I
bit
feel
of
like it
roundness
gets
to
the
it.
Pinot Grigio people in there with that fruitiness
Oh,
and that tiny
absolutely, yeah.
residual.
Yep.
So I mean, like, you will please every white wine drinker at a party if you bring this there. This is a good one for that. This is social wine to me, and I like it for that.
I do
Yeah.
like that. On that note, things this would pair well with more wine.
Yeah, I get.
More other types of wine.
I agree. I wouldn't concern myself so much with pairing it with food. If I
Having some
did,
cheese around
if
could
I
hurt.
did, yeah, cheese. I was just thinking the same thing. Some cheese and crackers, some dry, aged cheddar would be good. Just
But conversation with somebody that you haven't seen for 10 years would
Yeah,
pair well with
it's
this,
definitely
you
gonna
know?
feel. Yeah, this I don't feel like it's grinding on my stomach. The residual sugar, just that little. It might be 0.5% we're talking about,
Yep.
but just that little bit keeps from having that astringent,
But
dry.
that little bit of residual sugar is the difference between this and a South African Chenin Blanc. If you've not had a South African Chenin Blanc
or a true bar.
or Loire Valley, those are pretty much bone dry wines, high in acidity. They're really good, and they go with a lot of the foods from that region, and
The nice thing with
we can get some good
I could see river
seafood
trout.
type stuff.
And whenever you
But-
buy them, the price point tends to be appropriate too.
Yeah, you're gonna find your Chenin Blancs start. Your decent South African Chenin Blancs are gonna run you 25, 30. Your Loire Valley, we're gonna go up from there, 30 on up. So this is 17. I think it's a good, like Josh said, this is gonna be a wine you take to a party and people are not gonna be disappointed with.
I mean, this is
This would
this is
handle
a good
with
wine.
some freshwater trout too, mountain trout, rainbow trout, that kind of thing. I really feel like that myself.
I don't think this is one that's gonna send me off into like a what do I want to eat with this kind of.
No, I agree with you.
mentality.
I just,
But, I mean, it's a solid good wine, and like if you took this, it to me this is social wine.
Yeah, grapes
Yeah.
and cheese really is where it's at with this.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Grapes,
Like,
cheese,
that's the
couple
way to go with
crackers.
this. And like I feel like it's better for that than other wines would be.
Yeah, this is what we need to suggest to people who are eating
It's a
charcuterie trays
good
or
party. Yeah, this is
pasta
good
trays
party
on
wine.
the-
Drinking
on
a
the-
glass on your feet at a party
What
neighborhood.
do we have the ABV coming in?
What do we call the last one? The
I don't want
red.
to recommend a party wine with the things like 20%.
No, it's
It's probably what 13.5, maybe 13. That extra
12.5.
12.5. Okay,
Even better. Yeah, this is the
So,
perfect-
yeah,
this
so
is the
that
perfect
accounts for
party wine.
that residual.
Yeah. So in fact, the couple you had in tonight, that not the last one, but the one before.
Pinot Grigio, One Hope. Yeah, yeah, that would be a great recommendation. Maybe next time when they call me and say chill a bottle, I'll chill 2 bottles, and I'll have one Hope ready for them, and I'll say, hey, you guys want to try this first? Like I said, this is wine that's gonna go good with more
Yeah.
wine.
Yeah.
That I mean that's a solid tasty wine right there.
Yep. I agree. I think. Ooh. I don't know if that was A2 Brute or if that was Coastal Love.
I think it was a combination of all of them.
Ooh.
Yeah.
What was that out of 7, Rob?
Out of 7. Wow. How's out of 7? You're supposed to do 10, and then.
No, if you do odd numbers, it's better. It's more subjective.
All right. So out of 7, that was probably a 5.
5 out of 7.
As
Nice.
a belch factor,
Yeah.
I didn't really get a rumble or anything, but.
Okay. So.
I do appreciate this wine. I don't feel like I'm gonna get like wine heartburn, nothing like that kind of thing with this. It's just very mellow. So even my guests who are not accustomed to drinking wine are gonna enjoy this white wine.
You're not gonna get the sulfite sniffles with this.
Yeah, I felt like that with the other Delta too. Like I don't want to hand people insulting wine at an art
Now,
thing.
if
I'm
I
like,
remember
art's
correctly-
insulting enough.
If I remember correctly, the other Delta we thought was extracted. We thought we were
Or at
pretty
least
sure.
some element of
I
it.
wasn't
Yeah.
gonna bring that up, but I think this is too.
I'm not getting that.
I think it would be.
The location of the vineyard wouldn't surprise me. It's down in the valley. This is really close to Silicon Valley here.
From my experience, it's just if you do one extract or one juice, you do more than one.
So
juice.
Possibly,
Look, guys, we don't live in California. We haven't looked
but
at
I
this
mean,
address.
that is not to say that there's anything bad about this. You know, just because it comes from juice versus grapes, or
We don't know if this is done on a vineyard or in a warehouse in Silicon Valley. We really don't know.
for all I know, that there is some guy that's seeing this halfway across the world and wants to shoot me right now.
Yeah, it could be single origin, and we're just overlooking it, and we just don't see it. But
Yeah,
I think the label would say that.
They do on the label neglect to say whether it's single vineyard, whether it's
They say nothing about
the
it.
only
They
other,
leave it
the
open
only
to-
other thing
yes.
that I would say that gives me the key clue in that this is probably juice is that it's 12.5. Because when you have a 0.5 in there and it's lower ABV, it tends to be juice.
So
You don't end up with the complex 13.8s. Or the
this is not a
13.7s.
bad thing.
It's not.
Because
That's what I'm saying.
Someone
It's-
who's sourcing juice can make sure they're sourcing the best juice each year.
Yeah, consistency is key, and you make good product every time, and it is awesome.
That's right. A bad rainstorm is not going to ruin this winery.
No.
So, to review, because I think we're coming up on a long show.
We did have 3 beers.
That's right. So we had the Ace Hazy Hop.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give that one 2 thumbs ups.
I am
I
too
dug it. Not a
surprisingly.
huge cider fan, you know,
blew
but
my mind.
I'm going to
Surprisingly, I'm
recommend it
gonna
to some
give that one.
folks.
The
If
Ed
Nick would
Two
drink
Brute.
it,
Ed 2 Brute, which the funny thing was it was kind of laying over like it just been killed.
Yeah, like you got
Like I've
stabbed.
been stepped.
Like
So the
50
A2
senators.
Brute, the new Dank Tank series. I'm gonna give that probably a thumb and a half.
I'm gonna go right there with you because I'm getting tired of brewed IPAs.
You know, and you're going to make me do the same thing to the Hazy Coastal.
Just give me on this one. Give me on this one.
Listen, guys, I'm going to give you 1 thumbs up. I don't need to show you my other thumb.
All right, Hazy Coastal. Wanna put that on up there?
Yeah, the Boogie Night Coastal.
Boogie night. All right, so remember again, this is a charity type thing. Hazy Coastal. I'm gonna give it 1 thumb.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it 1 thumb up, and if it helps build the dam, it gets a second one.
Yeah, if it builds the dam in Boiling Springs, you get 2 thumbs up.
Or a way to repair the
It'll
riparian.
get 3
you know.
thumbs up because I'll be so surprised I'll grow a 3rd thumb for
Yeah.
that one. You know?
So anyway, and then we come across the Delta Chenin Blanc. I'm going to give this a thumbs up. I like it as a party wine. It is not your classic Chenin Blanc, which is not a bad thing. Has a little bit of residual sugar on that takes away the tart acid of it. Like I said, it's not a really big food wine, but I think it's a good party wine. So I'm giving it a thumbs up.
I'm giving it a thumbs up. If you bring this to a party and people don't like it,
You need new
you're either
friends.
at the wrong party or you have the wrong friends.
Yeah,
And then Nick.
I like it. It's good.
All right.
Good white wine.
All right, so we didn't have anything bad that anybody downplayed tonight. So again, this was episode 12.
Yeah, we were at Dirty Dozen.
Week 12. Week 12.
All right, so thank you for tuning in.
Like, comment, subscribe.
below, and
Please
we'll see you next week.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you so much.
And what do you drink?